Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spread out so far and wide. Honey, I love you, but give me the countryside.
This was one of the absolute worst fucking movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Quite good. Attack warning. Is it for real? Attack warning for bloody real.
Live from Colorado Springs, the Drop Culture Podcast.
Want to confirm, is this an exercise? Roger, copy. This is not an exercise.
Come on, quick, get down. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome, everybody, to the Drop Culture Podcast. This is that podcast where we pick up that piece of pop culture you forgot about or missed, shine it up real nice, and cram it in your ear holes. I'm Dan.
I'm Brock.
I'm Brock. You will refer to him as Mr. I'm Brock going forward. And Brock, we're back. We're deep in the deuce, my friend. We started off our Dropping Deuces run last week with a little Exorcist II The Heretic.
Ugh.
And we're moving right along to another winner, my friend. Highlander II The Quickening.
I did go see this in the theater, by the way.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm sorry.
Ridiculous. Like, when you're a kid, because this came out, 91 or something like that?
Yeah.
Because Highlander was 86, and Highlander, come on, bitchin' movie. Awesome premise.
Yeah. And
everything about it was awesome.
Yep. So what could go wrong with bringing everybody back and making two?
Everything could go wrong.
Everything could go wrong.
Absolutely fucking everything.
Yep.
From casting to fucking absolutely fucking everything. Special effects, script, music. I don't even think the actors were really even trying. They were just like, okay, we're here.
Dude, it's so bad that, like, I consider Sean Connery a pretty good actor.
Right.
Not in this.
No.
Throw a little wink in at you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And to think that he quit acting after The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but yet he continued to act after this movie. What?
Hey, had he not, though, we would not have got The Rock.
Well, yeah, you're right. You are completely 100% right. And we wouldn't have Nicolas Cage as he is today either.
That's right.
So,
Goodspeed.
Yeah.
Agent Goodspeed, rather.
Stanley Goodspeed. You know what that means? I mean, honestly,
I need a haircut.
This was another money grab that was bullshit.
Dude,
and should never have been made.
This is what I think. I don't know. Because I haven't read, I'm going to be honest, I haven't researched that much behind the scenes stuff except for the surface. Like I didn't see anything to research when I tried, and that's kind of why. But I really feel this is one of those movies where somebody had a script for a movie and they're like, let's make that the Highlander 2.
Yeah, like Cyborg.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah. It's like, let's have Cyborg, turn that into a Masters of the Universe movie. Wait a minute. Let's turn it into Cyborg.
Somebody's like, oh, this is a great idea. And then somebody's like, how can we shoehorn the Highlander into this? Let's make them aliens. What?
Why can't they
trashed and shit all over the first movie, dude? And what's weird, it's the same director.
Yeah.
it's the same main character. It's got, same supporting character. So, what Sean Connery, Christopher Lambert? What could go wrong, dude? How can this happen?
Everything went wrong, and it killed.
And we watched the director's cut. We thought we were going to watch the Renegade version,
but also thought we were going to be able to find the Quickening. But the only Quickening copy that I have, that I found on every streaming service that offered it, I didn't find one. I actually have a VHS of it that I bought last week.
Nice.
It was weird. I was at the place and I was like, oh, because that's why I think I got confused on which movie we were going to do this week. Because I bought this one and was like, oh, that's probably
and for
why.
Sheer transparency, midweek, which is we normally get a week for every movie and some time to dig in. I think it was maybe Tuesday, when we figured out that we were watching different movies. So I had to make a hard pivot in the middle of the week. So
Blue 80.
Omaha. But so it's okay. I feel like it's okay because there wasn't that much to research with this. Really, there wasn't a lot of deep stuff. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you just had to watch it, and I think I've watched it in its entirety at least twice in the last week, but it's been on my VHS in my office for the past all day today. Like I've just stopped it and rewound it, stopped it, rewound it, stopped it and rewound it. I think about 5 times now so far. I mean, it's on right now and it's horrible.
I will say that first of all, I had thought that maybe I had not seen this movie for some reason. But then when I started watching, I was like, "Oh, I've seen this movie. Fuck." And I knew right away what it was all about. I remembered everything about it for the most part. I mean, there are obviously little pieces. That's why we get a week to watch it.
Right.
Yeah, not good, dude. It's not. The thing is, it's not good. And I don't know that there's a redeeming quality.
Nope. It really isn't.
And
honestly.
Again, I think that for myself, I want to watch this Renegade version. We'll come back and do an episode on that sometime. Or maybe in an alternate deuce. An alternate deuce run.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
See what we
if
can
I
find
can
in
find.
that world.
Well, you can't buy this movie. Maybe you could buy the Renegade version on Amazon or something like that, but I couldn't find it.
Look into that.
Yeah. I was hoping that they had like a release that had all the different versions on it, the Quickening, the director's cut.
And I would have watched one of them and been like, "Oh, it's over. Okay, great."
Yeah.
I think I would have started with that Renegade cut and been like, "Okay, that's what I'm going with."
I do remember again. I saw
we watched the
theater.
director's cut, by the way. Just throwing you out there for this shit.
And then I watched the Renegade version when it came out, and I thought, oh, okay, that's a way better movie, because they didn't retcon absolutely fucking everything like they did in the Quickening. And the Quickening was just like they're like, oh, well, what are we gonna call it? I think even one of them said that it was like reading a teenager's script.
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel really bad for the writer because they accepted it,
Well, it wasn't just one writer though. It was a ton of people that worked on it, right?
Yes.
There's 3 or 4 people that worked on this script, and they should all be taken out back. 50 lashes for each with a wet noodle.
Or they have to sit through the movie. I think that would
for a week.
That would be one of the main things.
Like all Clockwork Orange style.
Yeah. They're like, But
Tears
they put on the
streaming
Queen
down
song and
their eyes.
and put on the Queen song and he starts burping.
No.
Well, let's get into the principles of this. It was directed by Russell Mulcahy. Russell Mulcahy, he's done some things, right?
He's really
kind of almost
just known for this, though.
Highlander.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Highlander 2, and then he did direct one of the coolest 80s movies, I think, underrated Denzel Washington movie, Ricochet.
Yeah, that's right.
He directed Ricochet. He also did
Razorback. Yeah.
We're not going to even talk about that.
It's a horror movie, dude, sort of, with a big giant wild boar trying to kill somebody.
Oh shit! You know what?
Alabama or something.
He directed the fucking Shadow too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of
this
TV
guy.
shows, but then Resident Evil Extinction.
Yep,
So
not a fan. Other than the Highlander, really. But I'm not hating. I'm just saying, out of all those
no.
nothing.
Well, I put him in the director league or in the director side of somebody like Roger Miller. Roger Miller really hasn't done a lot of things, and the Mad Max movies were fucking awesome, right? I mean, that's his claim to fame. George Miller. Yeah.
Okay.
And I put Russell Mulcahy kind of there. I don't know why I correlate them together, but I do.
He's no George Miller, dude.
No. George Miller's fucking awesome, but it's just, they have their one thing and they're fucking great at
George
it.
Miller almost did a Justice League movie.
See? I mean, Russell Mulcahy,
way a long time ago.
He's directed a lot of shit, but that's about it.
He did a lot of videos too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like music videos, I believe.
Culture Club.
There you go.
AC/DC. He did the Dale Earnhardt story, the TV movie.
There you go.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, he worked with a lot of really big bands and stuff. But other than that, though, I mean, he is Connor McLeod, and from the Clan McLeod.
Old Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, we got Christopher Lambert, which Lambert's in kind of one of those weird spots himself, which he's the fucking Highlander, which is awesome. But then what else? His career really didn't kind of open up. I mean, he was Tarzan. He was Tarzan in Greystoke. Yeah. He was also in Mortal Kombat. He was Lord Raiden.
Yeah, of course. That's a iconic role for him, I would think.
I would say that was a pretty good one. His style, his laugh, his everything is 100% unique, When he showed up on Ghost Rider, The Spirit of Vengeance, I was like, oh, cool, it's a Highlander. Because every time I see him, I'm going to be like, oh, shit, it's a Highlander.
Right.
And, I mean, he's done a lot of stuff.
Come on, dude. Your favorite movie to reference? Fortress.
Yeah, he even had a movie called Fortress 2. Oh. The Other End is called Reentry. He did a Beowulf movie.
I remember that actually being a thing.
Yeah. What?
So
he was on the TV show too, quite a bit, and even the movie that they made for it, Endgame.
Oh, that Beowulf movie, isn't that the animated movie that they that they made with Angelina Jolie and all of them?
Nope.
No, that wasn't 1999.
This is a different one. Yeah, this is a different one.
No way.
Pretty sure. I remember him from Greystoke: The Legend of Tarzan growing up, you know,
of course.
And then whenever Highlander came out, I mean, you just could. I mean, the Kurgan is fucking awesome. Everything about it is cool.
And that's the thing too is, wasn't how many years was it after Highlander that this one came out? It's like 4 or 5 years, right?
Longer than that, I think. I think Highlander came out in 84.
Oh, 84.
Let me see.
I believe you.
The Quickening 91, and then Highlander was 86.
86, yeah.
That's correct. You are correct.
That's like 5 years later.
Yeah. And I mean, he liked Sean Connery so much, or Sir Sean Connery. He was like, hey, guess what? Got another movie. We brought you back to life. He's like, Sure.
You're gonna pay me. What they'll be?
I mean,
there'll
he
be
even
women.
donated. Sean Connery needs no like introduction or like yeah, I mean, he's fucking James Bond, right?
Right.
But he gave all of his money to charity that he made from this movie. At least that's what he said. A lot of people got bamboozled too over there. I know Lambert lost a shitload of money on some bad real estate deals. And then Sean Connery almost actually bought like a giant mansion, but like almost got like totally fucking ripped off too.
Really?
God knows what Michael Ironside did, I mean, come on.
So Michael Ironside, he's a villain in everything.
Yes. See you at the party, Richter. I mean, he's a fucking. You see him on the screen, you're like, that dude's a badass, right?
Not in this movie, dude.
What the fuck? I mean, he was the main bad guy in Scanners.
Yeah, of course. The difference between this and Highlander, besides the stupidity that is aliens and all the other stuff that we'll get into, the Kurgan was a great villain.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? And Michael Ironside is not a great villain. Him nor his little porcupine lackeys.
Yeah, no. I mean, he tried to do his best. It seemed
That's
like
what he was
almost
given. You know what I mean? I'm sure.
Yeah.
You can only play on the field you're given. Or you can
yeah,
leave the
it was
field.
almost kind of like he was doing his own version of the Kurgan, because I think in earlier tales of the story, the Kurgan was actually one of his minions,
Oh,
and
really?
sent him to kill McLeod. But apparently, too, it's like if you look at their alternative timeline, right, like the Quickening timeline, which is not to say that it's really part of the actual Highlander timeline, because they basically retconned it and was like, fuck it, let's have part 3 with Mario Van Peebles.
Also, great movie.
So basically every day on their planet was like 100 years to or 1,000 years, something stupid like that. Which again, it's like all these kids are throwing this shit in there. And what the fuck? Like, hey son, you're 6. Can you draw me a storyboard? Oh, and could you doctor the script for me, please? Because this one sucks. Yeah, it was just bad. And his whole character, I mean, he can play a fucking awesome dude. I mean, he does really good stuff. This one, I think he really did shoot for the moon, because he knew nobody was going to watch it. So
you think they knew that though, or you think when they were done, they're like, man, you know what?
Yeah,
nailed it.
No, I don't think so. The only person that probably said that was John C. McGinley. I think he was the only one that was like, I'm going to try. Ouch.
Didn't really work
out. And John C. McGinley, yeah, I mean, this was another early role for him. I mean, he had done Platoon in '86, the Oscar winner. And I don't know that much that he really did, before the Doctor show. What was it? Scrubs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Scrubby Dubs.
Yeah, I don't remember his character.
Dubs.
He was the funniest character on that show, though, by far.
Yeah, of course. He was just
like
an asshole.
Dick, yeah. And he was also funny in whatever Ice Cube movie that is, where they move and buy a house. And he's like the electrician and the insurance guy and the mayor, and he just keeps changing his hat.
Well, yeah, I remember him from Stealing Harvard too. I thought that was a really funny one where he was a cop. And the funniest part of that whole movie is whenever Tom Green grabs his toothbrush and starts brushing his tongue with it. And he's like, I went in for my colonoscopy last month, and they said I had the best rectum they've ever seen. And you know why? Because every night while I'm here working late, I take a toothbrush and I scrub.
Right.
And just his reaction, it's like, oh.
That's a funny
Yeah, I mean,
movie, though.
yeah. He's done a lot of good shit. I mean, Seven. He's played a lot of good roles.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, Platoon was his third, or no, like second movie he ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wall Street. Come on, he's almost kind of.
He kind of looks uber young in this, like, because I
Yeah.
think most iconically he's probably Scrubs. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
what people remember.
Right. And then you got hot ass Virginia Madsen. She was back about this time, because it was, I don't know, she was almost like a grunge chick. It was something weird like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And she was in Candyman. Come on, she was in Dune.
She was the princess.
I know, right? She was the one that told us the story.
Mm-hmm.
She was also in the new Swamp Thing show.
Yeah.
And a couple of other really, really big things. And isn't her brother Michael Madsen?
Sure.
Yep. This one was just kind of
actually.
You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Her role in this was very tourniqueted in the quickening version, like, and it's weird. There's a couple of things that's just very weird, which we'll get to. Then really after that, there's just good character actors. Alan Rich, which he's been on, tons of stuff. I mean, freaking Serpico,
Sure. I think there's a lot of guys that are in this movie that are like you never really see again.
Yeah. Yeah. They're there.
Those are people.
And they're in stuff. But you don't really know. You're like, oh, he was the fireman number 2 in that movie.
So before we get too far into getting into the plot, as we will, I'm sure, let's throw this out there that this budget for this movie was $34 million in 1991. It brought home a whopping $15.6 million. So total loss, yet somebody still made a Highlander 3.
They probably
just throwing that out there.
That caught me there for a second. I was like, oh shit, they did. Somebody was like, well, you know what? You at least made 15 million. Let's get you another 100 mil for this movie. Shit. I
really enjoyed the first Highlander movie. I'm throwing that out there. I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, love it.
But I don't want that to, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, he's really giving this movie the shit. Because
yikes,
I wanted to like it. Just turns out it was fucking terrible. Spoiler alert.
Right. I mean, you do want to like it. You do want, because again, it's fucking Highlander. You're like, all right, yeah. Oh man, they have even cooler stuff in it. No. Oh shit, they're like hanging out with the Masters of the Universe on this one. Horrible. Really, I mean, literally being considered one of the worst movies ever made. Worst movies, not worst sequels, just worst movies ever made with powerhouse actors in them.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that it's like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It ain't good, but like I've seen much worse. But generally not with, a subject matter that I would like,
Well, we've done nothing but talk shit on this movie for the past 30 minutes.
That's true. So, throwing a little, just so you know where we're going with this, what our opinions might be. I loved it. It was great. Life-changing.
Love it.
Yeah. My wife
I think
my wife asked the question. She's like, "The Quickening." Is that like premature ejaculation?
the one pump chunks.
Kinda. Show you the Renegade version.
Yeah. Renegade is like 2 pumps.
It's Lorenzo Lamas.
Oh, wow.
Lorenzo Lamas just plays every character. That's the Renegade version.
Oh, shit. Oh, God, that would
That's
be horrible.
headcanon until I actually watch that movie. But the director's cut, let's get into that.
Well, yeah, let's get into this because, again, discombobulated fucking mess.
Yeah,
the
so
whole goddamn thing.
We start out with some script, right? Telling us stuff.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be good when you get the script at the beginning. Always. Tell me the story before you tell me the story, please.
Ugh, weird.
I know Star Wars does it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, see,
that makes it okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they really kind of the way that they start off the director's cut. They don't call it The Quickening. They only call it Highlander 2. They kind of start where he's actually at the fucking play, right?
Yeah, the opera.
In The
Which may have
Quickening,
been more interesting than this movie.
Well, yeah. The set was, but The Quickening, literally, the way that starts out is Connor is recollecting putting up the actual shield.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him and the other dude that he was partners with, and they show him do that at the very beginning, right?
Oh.
They give their little bitty prologue and, you know, kind of like the whole story, what's going on. It's 2024 or 2025, whatever. And they need to protect the Earth because the harmful UV rays, you know, have destroyed everything.
Right.
Okay. So Connor McLeod, of course, being immortal, is like super smart too. Didn't know that one. He was a scientist.
Come to find out, he's an alien.
Yeah.
So there's technology there that maybe he knew about that they didn't.
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird.
That's the only leap in logic I could make from where he was in Highlander 1 to this movie.
Yeah.
It's like that's why they made him an alien, I guess, so he can know things.
Yeah. I mean, his whole look in the first one was pretty awesome, you know. In this one, he looks like a fill-in drummer for your favorite band at the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like,
oh, yeah,
man, I know that
favorite
guy.
band from the bar in the 80s.
Yes.
Early 90s, which are still the 80s.
I've seen that dude before. He was playing in that other band that I went and saw. So he's basically like nodding off at the freaking opera because it is boring. But yeah, he's having these weird flashbacks the whole time.
Right. Go ahead.
No, I mean the flashbacks in Highlander itself were really good because they did show different aspects of his life.
Yeah.
And you know how he rescued his secretary. How
he ran with the deer.
Yeah, right. He could feel their heartbeat. Yeah, he like walked on underwater and shit. You know, but this one, the flashbacks are kind of junk. You know.
Well, this is like weird because there's like a bunch of dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like Sean Connery's the leader of them.
He's like, actually the leader of the rebellion.
You're the guy. I choose you, Pikachu.
Yeah.
And that Pikachu is Connor McLeod of the Clown McLeod.
So roughly 500 years before the film or the events in this movie take place, right? So 500 years, what year would that put that at?
This movie took place in what, 2020? What was it? What was the
2025 or some shit like that? 2024 or 2025.
So some years.
Yeah, 2024. So it's coming up.
Okay.
So basically, like 500. Yeah, it was 500 years before that that they got transported to Earth, right?
Right. So that would be what, 1524?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
When was Connor? Yeah, I know, right?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Because Connor McLeod was born in like
4 something
13.
AD.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
And he is immortal.
He was born in like the 1300s or the 1200s, something like that.
Okay, so which is still more than 500 years, like 700 years.
Yes, yes.
If my math is correct, which, math, not a friend of the show.
Not a friend of this show. So, he invents this fucking weird machine that covers the earth, but yet there's no rain, there's no clouds, there's no nothing. There's just this weird like array around everything.
So this actually says that he was born in 1518.
Oh, yeah. Well, close.
Yeah.
I mean, they got that right.
I guess.
Whoa.
Close enough. Whew. Close enough on that. That was the
math.
Best. We just rounded up.
Yeah, well, Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez was born before that.
Yeah.
Way before, like 12 AD or some shit like that,
He almost has as many names as they were off by years.
Well, in the director's cut that we watched, okay, so like you get to see them all meet and kind of hang out and everything, but they all have the same fucking names as they do on Earth, which is weird. And this is supposed to be on another planet, but yet
rebellion against who?
Katana.
Yeah, that's his name.
What? The worst fucking names.
Dude, they have some terrible names in this thing.
They're like, hey, Ted, you need to go down there and take them out. Okay, Fred, that's cool.
That would have been more awesomer if that were the case and their names were Ted, and like every time they walked away, they'd be like, I am Ted. I have inside me blood of Fred. I don't know. Like just when they walked away, it'd be awesome. It'd be way better than this movie.
Well, it's weird too, because again, whenever you're watching The Quickening, they show the actual spaceship on planet Zeist, right?
Yeah, they all meet Zeist. Get out of here! What a terrible name for it.
I mean, come on. The bad guy's name was General Katana.
It's true. It's true.
But
then they get their asses kicked, right? Regardless.
Well, yeah. I guess Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez is a sorcerer at this point.
Yeah.
He's a sorcerer on the planet Zeist, right?
Right.
And then he's like, well, because I'm better than you guys, I could see a real leader in the crowd, right? Like literally, just like bitches them all out. And he points to Connor, and he's like, Connor, come here, taste this. What? This is fucking weird, Now we are joined. It's like they had some weird, like, golden fluid.
Yeah, he's like,
they took
than death.
Yeah, and
it's gonna come in handy.
Yeah, well,
you're gonna be
of course,
deathed.
Yeah. So he's actually supposed to be the leader, because everybody on the planet Zeist is like, hey, are you gonna lead us, Sean Connery? And he's like, no, I'm not. But there's somebody that's got great potential.
Let's touch our hands together.
Yeah, let's
dip it in the gold.
Let's be bonded in a marriage ceremony.
We're bond brothers.
It's so they get into the battle and they get their asses whooped. Big time. And Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
Are you gonna say his full name every time? Because that's legit.
So
I will say Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Or Ramirez. So that's what you're getting at.
So you don't really see Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez like literally in the battle, you only see Connor.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because that's why he chose him. He's like, get out there and fight him, guy.
Fuck off, because
I'll be over here
I don't want to go out
sorcering.
there. But yeah, he gets busted too.
Yeah,
like,
they both get busted and taken to trial.
Yeah, they're in a weird like council of elders kind of thing.
And they talk, but they don't talk. It's like they don't move their mouths when they talk.
Except for one dude who's like, "Shut the fuck up." Tells Katana, he's like, "Watch your fucking mouth, Katana." Oh, okay, cool.
You little son of a bitch.
And even Katana's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that." So they get basically thrown in a weird time thing in the future. I don't get that either. Why? If we had all this technology in the past, where the fuck did these guys go? You know what I mean?
Yeah. To Zeist.
Well, they had an interstellar moment,
And what's he tell him? He's like, until you make your decision. He's like, yeah, and then you can make your decision on what, going back or staying there.
Staying and growing old. Yeah. Because
he's old.
if he ends up being the only one left, then he does have that choice.
He's mortal at that point if he's the only one there.
Correct.
Because him and that girl have a great conversation about that later, where she's like, "So if this," like she explains it, sort of, but it's like real weird and dumb. But it's like, okay, so we know that if you're watching this movie, you're gonna need help. You're thinking these same questions. Let me just put it out here for you. Okay.
They're like, here you go. So you're immortal, but you're only immortal when there's other immortals around you, but you were sent from the past. And then once you are the only immortal, then you don't become immortal. You actually become a human. And then you have a choice to go back and be a regular human and die, or stay immortal in your other. It was a fucking weird deal.
Or stay here and be more whatever it was.
Be more mortal, So of course,
I love where he's in the bar. And that lady tries to smash him with a bottle. She's like talking shit. She's like, "You did this. My life's crap because of you and your shield.
You fucked us up, bitch." Well, they come down on July the 16th. That's my fucking birthday. It's weird.
True. My mom's birthday as well.
Yeah, that's so crazy that they actually come. They're watching July the 16th in the past, or on planet Zeist. You know what I mean?
Right.
So of course, right, they're there. We all know what happened in Highlander, because that's basically what happens. Connor and the other dude create the shield because the ozone layer has depleted. The entire ozone layer.
Yeah, it's depleting.
Yeah,
it's long to get it up and going.
Yeah,
and they do have the cool scene of them watching it power up or whatever.
Right. It's like covers the whole place. Looks cool, but not really. But it's actually a low ceiling too. I think I would have made it a little bit taller.
Well, no, you want it to be closer, lower profile to the ground, because then it's less likely of it being smashed.
Yes.
Makes sense, really. Science.
Kind of.
Physics.
Not for this movie.
Physics,
yeah,
Brock.
Science. Not a friend of this movie.
Well, they can explain it away with aliens. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, okay.
So, at this point, he meets the girl who broke it. Well, we didn't even talk about that. They break into the, what's it called? The TSC or whatever?
Yeah, the Shield company, whatnot. It's a corporation.
Yeah, the Shield Corporation.
Yes.
And she gets some, like, there's all these people, and they're like in helmets and zip lines and swimming in through the water of this huge facility.
Like Hoover Dam or some shit like that. It's like water cooled.
52 degree liquid cooled.
Ninja Tank, They get in really easily too.
Man, like nothing, dude. They're like, that one guy's like, the one guard's like got his back turned where they're zip lining
Yeah.
and he's like sitting all dumb, like up against the railing. And I'm like, what is he doing?
He's almost smoking a cigarette. He's like, I'm on fucking union break. So
I get 5 minutes, bitch.
Well, what's funny too is that one at the very beginning is like, "Did you hear that? Huh? That's weird. Check out Sector 7G.
Probably just
there's
a
nothing
fish.
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a big fish. Cool. And it's a fucking person.
Yeah, and the guy's like, there's no fish in here. And he goes, oh, I've seen him. I've seen him.
And then they zoom in.
And it's people.
Yeah. And they zoom in, and it's actually
It's
those
Kanye
people.
West. No.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Why are they swimming? Why are they swimming in that water right then? They're swimming upstream to like zip line downstream.
That doesn't make any sense.
Uh-huh.
But at any rate, they golden eye it in there. Their little team, I think, is like 6 people.
Yeah.
And she gets the data to find out that the ozone levels are normal up above the shield.
Yeah, because they're part of the rebel band that thinks that it is
rebels. So then she opens, like, she gets out of there. Like, they kill 2 of them, 2 of the guards, kill 2 of the rebellion people, and then they split up the remaining 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has a little thing that says McLeod and an address.
Yeah, tucked in her bra.
Yeah, as you do.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she's changing in an alley. You know what I mean? Come on.
Well, you gotta get
which
away.
is which is really close to the facility, the shield generator facility thing. So I mean, Connor's drinking and listening to the jukebox, you know. Hey Jimmy, well, I don't know why he's talking like that too. He's like, hey everybody, oh, it's pretty nice. You know, that's how
he's old as hell.
Yeah, and his voice is gone. That's weird.
I mean, that is like what, another 60 years almost, you know, or 50 something, you know, and he was already like 30.
Was he?
I don't know.
He was a cool 25, you know. Let's say that.
Okay,
so
sure. So
he's like 60,
75.
Yeah, he's 75 in this, you know. He can barely walk, but he drives a Porsche really badly, I might add. It's kind of like skidding on the streets and shit like that. So not really cool. And then, she meets him outside after he gets hit, right, with the bottle.
Well, he doesn't get hit. He blocks it.
Yeah, he blocks it, but yet it puts a cut on his hand.
Yeah.
And then he sneaks a free drink, too.
He does. He's like, but, dude, that cut on the hand healing up was terrible. It looked garbage. Oh, so garbage.
Well, because here's where Katana fucks up. He sends the other 2, like, peacock dudes or porcupine guys.
Yeah. What the hell? And
the one and dancing on one foot and shit like that. You know, what the fuck is this? So literally it just turns him back into an immortal. They could have let him freaking die.
Yeah. So he kills them. And they're on little one's on like a hoverboard sort of a thing, and the other one's got the flyy wings that are obviously at 2 points during the action scene. You can actually see the rope or cable that's holding him up. So that's cool editing. Friend of the show. But one of them. Whoa. One of the guys he decapitates with like a rope. Like, come this way, the last guy. And then he cuts off his head. And the other guy, he kind of accidentally cuts off his head too.
He doesn't really mean to. The best part of the whole movie is whenever he's on the catwalk. And he reaches down to grab one of those poles because the one's coming after him, and he breaks it off, and he's like, "Thank you," looking up at God. You know what I mean? He's like, "Thank you."
Well, my favorite part is where the guy, when he falls off onto the train, and the guy, pardon me, kicks the railing in the perfect bar just flies out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. Razor sharp.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
He's awesome. Well, yeah, and then he knocks him down and like by luck, he's like, yeah, I did it,
And then, so for the first 30 minutes of this movie, we get old ass Highlander. And now he's all young again. Like it's 1991 and his name's Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. And Virginia Madsen's like, oh my God.
Let's have sex. Right here.
Yeah.
I know this all just happened, but let's do it right here up against this wall.
I don't even know this dude, but yet he's kissing me. It was a weird, uncomfortable sex scene.
But they were all about it. I mean, it was all consensual.
Yeah, but it was still weird. It's like he had some like freaking juju or something like that. It like had a Highlander pheromone treatment or some shit like that. They even the people in Zeist. Yeah, but the people in Zeist actually call him the Highlander. Why?
Doesn't make any sense, dude. At all.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. So basically, we get to see what happened to his other wife. She was killed by the bullshit, right?
By the bullshit.
The shield or the ozone layer.
Oh yeah.
She's in the hospital, which is like as big as a football field, because everybody's like not staying indoors. They're like, screw it, I'm gonna go out and go swimming. Ow!
Ouch!
Not
got
cool,
me, son.
Oh, melanoma.
It's instanoma.
Yes, I mean it's like instantaneous. There's kids and all kinds of stuff. So it kind of is a little bit more reminiscent to the actual, first one where they kind of had those weird moments. And the very visceral, smoky flashbacks, sure, I guess.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's whenever he actually grows to, rises to the occasion to make the shield, right? Because even at one point, he's almost getting stuck up because he's trying to find his friend. And the dudes come over and they're like, hey, old man, wait a minute, you're Connor McLeod. And they're like, whoa. Like he was a badass before, right? And they all knew it. He's like, hey, guess what? I'm an immortal. And they're like, what? Okay, cool. So, he's really not a badass, but yet he is.
Yeah.
And him and Virginia Madsen, she's in his t-shirt. He's wearing his full jeans and long sleeve t-shirt. His hair's all teased. Everything's really cool. He even walks out of the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fully clothed, and his clothes aren't.
No.
Which is weird.
Immortal clothes, man. So,
they are. They are. They were part of his super suit.
There can be only one.
What the fuck? So
I was kind of wondering, like in 1991, how he had like some hip clothes when he had old man clothes before that. I guess he had a tux or whatever on, but
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So he
just doesn't seem like a 75-year-old Connor McLeod was probably wearing those clothes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, the tie is the only thing that burned, and the top button.
Yeah.
So that whole time where he's fighting the other dudes, at the very beginning of the fight, he's like, Ramirez, my old friend Ramirez. I mean, what? So after the first dude dies and he gets the quickening, right, and it helps him get younger before he gets blown up, right? And he screams out Ramirez's name, Ramirez.
Damn
and
yous.
Then and then when actually he does come after he gets done, Ramirez actually appears.
Well, but what I like too is like that was probably the most explosive quickening or whatever, like that second one.
Yes.
And I thought that he, because he puts the girl in the dumpster or whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if that just exploded? Why didn't that explode? Everything else exploded in giant explosions. Just kill her off.
The old
then he
lettuce
doesn't
didn't
know
even
about
fall out of that
anything,
shit.
and movie's over.
Yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, literally all the windows busted out.
And the explosions
Of every
are
building.
big, dude. Big explosions.
Even engulfed him and shit,
Yeah.
too, a lot of the time.
But then,
just
like
like
you
the
said,
other one.
Ramirez arrives at the apartment.
He shows up at the
Well, he goes and gets some clothes first.
well, yeah, because he shows up on stage and he's like, ha 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 ha, yeah, I'm sorry for ruining your Black Panther party.
Shithead.
And yeah, shithead. What is a shithead? And he makes so many jokes about his head being chopped off, like he sees himself in the mirror. He's like, ooh, good thing my neck is still here. And then even when he's getting fitted for his tux and they go around his throat, he's like, kind of gives him the eye, like, what?
I like that they tell him like it's going to take weeks to make the suit, and he's like, I'm aware, and you'll have it done in by 3, and gives them an earring. And they're like, oh my God, this earring. I'm glad that guy was also a jeweler.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he saw it and was like, yep, that's what it is.
It's worth gold and pearl and all kinds of things.
Yeah. Worth a lot of money.
Takes it in. They're like, this is all fake.
But they also buy
50 cents
him
for this earring.
Yeah, they give him an awesome suit, right?
Right.
They wrap his sword up in something, right? With ties and everything, I mean, make him a kick-ass wardrobe, right? And then they get him a limo and even pay for a flight. All with that one pearl earring. For real, because the tailor dude is like, would you like me to arrange a limo for you to the airport? He's like, airport?
What's an airport?
Yes. So that's when, that's when we get that really like weird safety video.
Yeah.
Mid-flight.
That's pretty intense.
Yes.
Pretty intense.
He even is like, what in the holy, huh? And he's like flirting with that girl. He's like, dark-haired ladies like to. What? What did he say? Did they like to well, we have to leave that to our
version for that.
Yeah, we have to. We have to use our imaginations. So yeah, I mean, and Connor the whole time is just like chilling at his place, his museum or whatnot, because he has all these really nice art pieces and kind of like he always has. Plus he has this hidden room that Virginia Madsen goes into and, hears him playing football, reads his ship's log, everyone is dead. Just weird random shit, and so he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go downstairs. And they get downstairs and Ramirez like sneaks in, cuts the lights, and they get into their little sword fight and everything. He's like, hello. What? It's you, Ramirez. And he whoops his ass, right? And is about.
And then they fight again, yeah.
Yeah, he has the sword up against his throat, and Ramirez is like, Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
You killed my father, prepare to die.
Yeah, so Virginia Madsen comes out and he's like, ooh, I don't think your tastes have changed.
Sometimes it's better.
Yeah, very gross. Yeah. And, for the time, I mean, it worked. So many sexist things back in the day is amazing. To know that we lived through that, and it's still, I don't know, it's weird. Not right, but we all grew up around it. It's weird. So yeah, this is where they're talking about, we need to, take down the shield. What do you want me to do? And the first time he visits his buddy that helped him raise the shield, John C. McGinley's spying on him.
Right.
while they're talking, and he's like, "Oh man, I haven't seen you in forever." And he's like, "Yeah, they got me locked up pretty much. Here's some coordinates," but he only gives him the latitude, right? Doesn't give him the longitude, right? And then John C. McGinley walks in and is a fucking prick, I mean, just a smart ass asshole.
And there's
And he's
like way more writing on that screen from the other side than there was that we saw. So maybe he did put it out there real quick or something, and we just didn't see that part.
I wish we had screens like that anyway. You know what I mean?
Sure. Clear
Screens, that's freaking cool. They even had that in that shit. So I guess they were projecting something. I don't know.
Right.
So, he only gets a little bit, and then he has to talk to, what's his name? Alan? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, I'll leave you alone. I'm going.
And this is kind of where we uncover, like at some point around here, and this is where we kind of uncover that company like charges people for the shield, basically.
Yeah, the whole entire world.
Yeah.
The Shield Corporation, TSC.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of weird to save their lives, and it's a big, huge, giant business, right? And they're making money hand over fist from all these governments, and of course they're like, kind of like that is now. They're like, meh, well, we're not going to get rid of it. We don't need to. We're just making too much money.
Who cares if the ozone's normal up there?
Yeah, fuck that. We can't let them get that information. Come on, some hiker had to walk through that hole one of these days, and be like, I'm going to live above the shield. Why not? So of course, they find out that his friend is being taken to the underground crap somewhere. It was like the Gulag or something, where there's just a big giant subway system full of sewer rats and stuff,
right,
and people that are waiting to die. But
the barrows.
Yes, but before this is whenever Michael Ironside's character, he's like, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. And he's got a really cool like Kurgan sword too.
Dude.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe he actually said it, first of all. And then the way he said it was like super cheesy. I was like, okay, all right.
Well, when he lands, he goes through the subway and he crash lands and he gets up and he screams like, woo, yeah. You know what I mean?
And he picks up that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you always wanted to drive one of these things, huh?
Me too.
How does he know the lingo and everything? Just by watching videos? I don't know.
Watching videos.
Because he's like, oh.
He ordered his nice 2024 VHS tapes.
And even the dude that he steals a jacket from has a Google Glass on.
Right.
He's watching a freaking Godzilla movie while home dude's like messing with him. It's like, so he kicks that dude's ass, and then he grabs the little kid, walks by everybody. He's like, nice threads, and
he just kicks the shit out of the engineer.
Yeah,
like 3 hits, bam, bam.
Yeah, and then starts souping up the engine on the freaking train because it's electric.
The faster you spin it.
Yeah, the faster it'll go.
Yeah, so he had up to like 500 miles an hour or something.
At like 7.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it was a lot.
It kept going. I thought at some point this has to stop. It did not.
God, it just kept going, and he kept going faster.
And he had that maniacal look on his face, and like acting all crazy.
But he's like not like moving, but everybody else is like falling. Like the pressure so much from the G's, it's pushing them all into the back of the whole place, and they're all falling through the windows. They're all dying, babies are dying. And
I think maybe they deserve that because that baby starts rolling. Not one of them reach out to like stop it.
No, but you get to see the mom holding the baby.
Yeah.
And so they all get crushed, right? And he comes out and he's like, next stop, something.
Last stop.
Yeah, last stop, and because he goes through a wall, and doesn't, if you're going 700 miles an hour and you crash through a wall like that, you're not going to go to Planet 10. you know.
Right?
You're actually gonna get liquefied, you
It
know,
ain't gonna be
and
good.
exploded.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be good.
But not him. No, he just gets off the Dylan's like, ha ha ha. And then he sees, he actually goes to sacred ground, where Connor's wife is buried, right? And he starts talking shit. Everything's like, if you don't take it out and use it, it'll rust or something like that. Something
Right.
stupid again. And he desecrates kind of her grave, runs some mud on it and everything like that. But that is like after he's in the, because the best actor in the whole movie was a taxi driver. He's like, holy shit, whoa, I need to introduce you to my sister.
She's in music too.
You're a music man. I knew it. Yeah. And he just plays some like stupid, I don't know. Yeah. That dude's last name in real life is Brock too. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I saw that.
So he's there. He's getting in with John C. McGinley, basically taking over and snapping necks and
Yeah, so
cashing
now
checks.
you have General Katana on Earth working with the TSC.
Right. Yeah, because he basically is like a board
McGinley
member or
says,
something.
I always bet on the favorite or something. No,
Yeah.
get out of here. It's just poor delivery, poor lines, poor
Everything.
poor
Yeah.
actors.
Even poor like dead actors too.
Yeah.
The people acting dead sucked.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
So yeah, I mean, even whenever Michael Ironside like squishes the freaking eel or something weird, like he's got that weird scar on his face too. So this is when Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez like crushes the model of the whatever you call it, the shield generator or whatnot.
Right.
And he's like, your time is now. And he's, you know, I mean, Connor had to be a little bit pissed. He's
Just
like,
a little,
man,
you would think. Like, I put a lot of
I've
work
had that
into
thing. Yeah, I've had that thing for like 26 years. A year before we even put it in.
Yeah, and it turns out I was going to blow up the other one.
Yes, right? This is all I had to remember. Thanks, Dick.
Fucking
So,
Ramirez.
of course, they have to get through, and they're driving like a 1952 or no, like a 1963, not even a Bel Air, you know, it's like some crappy.
The setting for this is all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
it's in the future, but here's a bunch of stuff from the 50s. You know what I mean? Like, and the subway looked normal for the most part until they were going 800 miles an hour or whatever.
Right.
I don't
It's
know,
like they're
just
using
weird.
all the old stuff, but yet he's got a newer Porsche. You didn't see any super vehicles.
You know?
It's like they stopped doing anything, you know, in 1997 or 1998, whenever they did that.
It
So
wasn't even 1998 stuff.
yeah, no shit,
Of course,
right?
that was the future.
Well,
There
was
wasn't
it?
even 1991 stuff.
So they decide that they got to go up, and they pull up in that really old Oldsmobile, right? And they stop at the gate, and they're like, who are you? And he's like, Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez at your service. You know? And he's like, hey, take it easy. First time in the desert. Where's Vegas? What? What? That was just a stupid line.
Yep.
So they actually get in, right, and they're taking off, but yet they drive right into the middle of a whole bunch of guards. They just gun them down,
Right.
completely assault them, Bonnie and Clyde style, shoot them all to hell, but yet they don't hit the trunk once.
Of course
Because
not.
guess who's in the trunk?
The young Gundam.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a pugilist. So
Did you see the
so
size
literally
of that cock-a-doodle-doo? She's like a
She gets-
butterfly.
Oh, like a butterfly. So she gets out of the trunk and is like, oh, thank God they captured me. It was so weird. And again, the doctor, where is he from? It's like he is this really huge character, great backstory and everything like that, but he's got like 2 minutes of time. He's like, hello, my name is Riley Jackson. And you know what the fuck, right? And she's like, oh, they got shot like 400 times, and Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez gets up to like 212 actually. He's like, you count. They both like get up, but they can't hear him, even though they're in the other room. And of course they do the double punch for like pow pow. Knock out the guards, and home dude like passes out, because he thought they were dead, but they're immortal. No. And so so they get into that, right? They're going through everything, and okay,
the spinning
we
fan
never
of doom.
Right, but we never saw Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez ever get his sword back, the katana.
Nope.
And we never see Connor wield the katana.
True.
At all. So where the hell did it come from? Juan Sanchez Ramirez Villalobos Ramirez, he actually had his own like rapier sword or whatnot, one of those ancient pirate swords that he took off the dude. At the play, right?
Which means it's probably fake.
right. Yeah. Well, so he's got the katana, and they end up in the wrong room. They're like, oh, don't let the door shut. Bonk. And of course, it's a spinning blade that's moving its way down, Indiana Jones style. And the only way that these people could die is if you chop off their head.
Right.
Why don't they just like stand on their head? Or put their sword up into the blade and like cut it off? I don't know.
Because then Ramirez couldn't do his sacrifice move.
He doesn't do shit in this whole movie except for be there, right? and
this is the moment he came back for.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, most men get a full measure of life, but if you can put it all into one moment, like this one, you could do something extraordinary, right? So he puts his hand up to it, and I guess he uses some wizardy power, and he pushes it up. And the sword is still stuck in the ground right there too. Yep. So remember this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
I'm with you. So I'm with you.
Yeah. And okay, so if a immortal dies, but his head is not chopped off by another immortal, who gets the quickening power?
Closest guy, I guess. I don't know.
But Connor didn't.
No, just
because he was running out.
A force ghost.
Right.
So he can come back in part 3. I don't know.
Right. Because he was running. He was running away and was just like, he doesn't get the quickening power. So they get out, right? And they find the other coordinates, right?
Right.
They get them from home dude. They know where it's at. They climb up to the top.
Alan,
they're like,
right?
yeah, and they're like,
tortured.
Right. They're like, yeah, we did it. We went up into the Himalayas or something like that, and look, it's great. Because she even asked him, what does the sunshine look like? Like, so okay, so she's like 22 or something like that. She's supposed to be really young, which does not match up either. So they get up there, they get to see everything as it really is, and they're like, oh, we got to go tell everybody. Cool. They get back down there, and this is where they get into the first fight with Katana, they get into the first fight with him on the whatever the truck or whatnot, when they're driving in the quarry
right
up to the top.
Yep.
They kick him off, but yeah, then they're back trying to shut down the shield generator, and then they're fighting inside the shield generator main spot, like the Tron spot, right?
Right.
I mean, if he put his disc up there, he might, go back up. So they get into this really short sword fight.
Yeah.
Not very good. Connor whoops his ass, because of course he's the fucking Highlander, right?
Right.
He's had all the practice. He's had more practice than anybody in the entire world with swords, right? Cuts off his head, gets the quickening power, is like, yeah. Then he steps into the shield generator beam.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you stop it, apparently. I don't know how he knew that or what that was going to do or how it would work, but he built it, so maybe he thought, I can overpower it with my quickenings.
Really? Huh.
That's all I could gather. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Because again, he was the last
power through the stream, and then now he's not immortal anymore.
Right. He was the last Highlander alive, so he should be. Well, he didn't make his choice. I see.
Yeah.
He had to make the choice to be immortal or go home.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Screw going home. I don't want to go there." Because whenever they go home, they're absolved of all of their misgivings and
Yeah, but obviously it kind of sucks there because he was part of a rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even if he did get pardoned, unlike General Zod.
There is a version of this where he goes back to Zeist after all of this, but that's not the versions we'd watched.
No. No, and it was even written that he flies away with her. She's like, "Can I go with you?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Zeist." But in the Renegade version, not Renegade version, but in the Quickening version, it just ends in a still shot of them looking at the stars and him smiling, like, yeah, like at the end of a Night Court episode or something,
But in the director's cut, there's 20 more minutes.
Yeah. There's more. Yeah. That's it. Honestly, This movie sucked. This movie was really horrible. I would say it's probably one of the worst movies ever. It really is there.
So once again, it's kind of like the last Deuce that we just talked about, and the last sequel Deuce, whatever. Last shitty Deuce. This was a movie that didn't need to be a Highlander movie if that's the direction they were going. You know what I mean? I really feel like it was written. There was a story written, and then they like, okay, how can we make this the Highlander? Aliens, cool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Let's throw some porcupine dudes.
Or maybe they were aliens, and then they were like, well, we can still work the Highlander into it, But it was terrible. And I didn't like the story because just like the last one, it invalidated the last movie. Like, I don't want them to be aliens. I want them to be what they were, what we were led to believe they were. And I'm not saying there's not room for, world building, but that's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, they were basically, they had to die and they became immortal after they originally died, right? And then they had to play the game.
Yeah.
In the very first one. So whenever the Kurgan killed him the first time, he came back, and Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez actually taught him how to do some stuff, run with the fishes. And he kicks everybody's ass. He's friends with everybody. Everything's really cool. He's an art dealer, anti-Nazi dude in World War II, fighting World War I, everything, right? I mean, the dude's badass, right? This one, he's just like an old broken down man from another planet.
Yeah, who gets his life back.
Yeah,
so he basically gets to do it all over again with a new chick.
Yeah. So he gets to start over. Yeah.
So I feel like as long as there's some evil General Katana type on their planet, like his next lieutenant or whatever, as long as he also hates Connor McLeod, he's just going to get a series of new girlfriends, and keep going back to age 30 or whatever he is, 28,
Yeah. 32.
Yeah. 45. I don't know.
I remember my 30s.
Remember the first time I was 30. That's what Connor McLeod says. I'll be there again.
Like I said at the beginning of this, every part of this movie sucked.
Yeah.
The special effects blew. The music sucked. Maybe the cinematography. I would say
terrible.
no. I would say that. I mean, it was put in a very real context, but I mean, it looked like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
it really did.
Yeah.
It has that sci-fi
like
feel.
Movie.
Yeah.
Might not have been, but it looked like one.
Right. Just a weird fucking movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Horrible. I actually had a little bit of I was like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this again. This would be pretty cool. And then I was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, I think down the road even though this sucks, and I get it because it does.
The Quickening does.
Yeah. Yes. I think that at some point in the future, maybe we'll do the Renegade version.
If we can find it, yeah.
Yeah. And do like a little something on that.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast.
Other than that, though,
that's
movie
the
sucked.
Man. Yeah, and there's not a lot of good to come out of this, in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
Even generally with these movies, there's some redeeming quality that I find, and nope.
No, this one had none.
Direction was bad. Production wasn't great, like you said. The cinematography was okay. I really thought the most captivating thing about the movie was the set from the opera.
Yeah. And that first opening shot to do the big, wide shot where they circled around and everything like that came back to him.
Yeah.
Pretty cool shot. Just that was it.
Yep.
It started really good.
Where they blew their wad. It was the Quickening.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was a very quick
amount of decency. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it sucked, and I don't even think we should even keep talking about it because it was so horrible.
That, yeah. As you know, we always try to find the cool and the good and the whatever about this. These versions of this movie don't have it. Seldom do I say I would give a movie a 1. This is it. This is a 1 to me. This 100%. Is not something that I would even watch just to watch. Like, I was kind of sad when I realized what movie it was, because the only one I really like is the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, have I even seen part 2, The Quickening? And as soon as it started, I was like, son of a bitch. Yes, I've seen this movie. It's terrible.
It is the worst.
But I don't like the Mario Van Peebles one either. So
no, but it's better than this.
Yeah, well, not hard.
Way better than this. Yeah. Way better. It rates a 3-star versus a 1. And Highlander's 5. You know what I mean? That's the high. Yeah. That's the high watermark for me.
That's the high watermark for this series for sure.
Yes.
And I would still probably not give it a 5. I save that for some very, very special movies, but I'd probably give it a 4, 4.5 for sure.
Okay. I put Highlander up there just because growing up with it, just always really cool idea.
Sure.
It's like I don't know.
Like if I give a movie a 4, though, I feel like that's a really strong movie. You know what I mean? Like 4.5, there's few of those, and then 5s, there's even less, you know?
Yeah. What would you put as a 5?
Well, you'll have to pay attention to our episodes, and maybe you'll find out, sir.
Oh. Well, I
don't really do any 5 movies.
Well, because, like, okay,
That's
I
not
just
true.
noticed something about this movie.
Okay.
Well, because it's playing right while we're doing this, and it's gone through the second time now, and the porcupine dude with the wings has got Buzz Lightyear wings.
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
They flap out.
That's pre Buzz Lightyear though.
Yes,
they stole that idea from The Quickening.
They did. They're like, oh my god,
getting sued.
Uh-oh.
Pixar.
There you go, Pixar. I just brought it up to you. They're like, oh,
Son of a bitch,
Man.
they're on to us.
yeah.
What will we ever do with our bazillion dollars and lawyers? But with that, I think we can probably wrap up this movie.
I would say I hope you enjoyed our podcast more than you actually enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen it, you're okay. Don't.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But we'll let you know if the
Don't-
Renegade version's worth watching. I still have a thought that it's not. But maybe. Maybe
we'll
I'm wrong.
see. Well, we'll see. I for some reason I thought it was way better, but I need to watch it.
It might be. I don't know. Never seen it, so I'm interested to watch it. But until then, I've been Dan. Who have you been?
I'm Brock.
That's right. And we just want to thank you for listening. And feel free to check us out over on dropculture.com, or you can even drop us an email, dropculturepodcast@gmail.com, because we're too lazy to make personalized emails to our website. And
Hey,
or
shit,
catch-
that costs money.
Yeah. If only we cared about advertising.
Yes.
We don't. Behind the scenes, we don't give a shit. Shh, guys, come over here. We don't give a fuck. But you can catch us on the socials too, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever other ones we're on, YouTube comments. I don't know what else we're
Yeah.
on. I'm sad, and I will say this real quick. We had some YouTube comments from like 2 months ago, dude.
Really?
And there was like 4 or 5 of them all under the same thing, but they were under an old video. So I saw them, and then I was like, "Oh, this poor guy! I never answered him. I never, what I mean? There was like 4 or 5 comments that we didn't answer. So there's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. So we'll try. we'll be better about that, or try.
Maybe.
I usually do it. I usually do respond when I see it come to my phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to answer that later. Wow.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, but I
You need to take a look at that.
Missed that whole conversation. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
wherever you feel like hitting us up, hit us up. I don't think we still have a podcasters only profile because that got weird. But that's it. That's it. Brock, that's it.
Yeah, gotta go.
Yeah, say
gotta
goodbye,
go.
dude.
Or
Say-
nope.
Bye.
Later.
Peace.
This movie sucked.
Yeah, it did.